How many hours of sleep you had last night? 5? 6? Busy with some office work? Or was surfing on social media? Busy watching some new movies or series on Netflix or Amazon Prime? Or was just talking with friends or family? Or found it difficult to sleep? What is sleep? Why is it so important to us? What will happen if you are sleep deprived? How can you improve the quality of your sleep? And how sleep is related with good immune system? I'm sure you must have heard about all these things a couple of times, but you have never paid attention to it. I assure you the next 10 to 12 minutes of this video is going to change your life upside down. Couple of years later, you will sit, remember this day, and will thank yourself that you have paid attention to the details of this video and will have followed this thing throughout your life. Hello and welcome to your YouTube channel, My Expert Doctor. I am Dr. Shalini Singh Salunke with you as your consultant physician. So let's see, what is sleep? Sleep is a state of rest accompanied by altered level of consciousness, relative inactivity and perception, decreased perception to the environment. What is circadian rhythm? It's a 24-hour internal biological clock which regulates your physical, mental and behavioral change throughout the day. It basically responds to light and darkness. It exists in plants, animals and humans. It basically is synchronized with the 24-hour rotation of Earth on its axis. Now let's see what are the control centers for sleep. Reticular activating system in the brainstem and cerebral cortex controls cyclic nature of sleep, that is sleep-wake cycle. Let me explain how. In the case of darkness and when you prepare yourself for sleep, your reticular activating system gets stimulation of the system is reduced, as well as there is increased release of melatonin, or chemical or hormone which is responsible for inducing sleep. So you fall asleep. With the sunlight, the production of melatonin is reduced. As a counterpart, the production of cortisol is increased and you're awake. So cortisol is awakening hormone and melatonin is sleep-inducing hormone. Now let's see what are the stages of sleep. So the stages of sleep is divided into 5 stages. The first 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 are involved with non-rapid eye movement, which constitute about 75 to 80% of your sleep cycle. The last stage is rapid eye movement, which constitute of 25 to 20% of your sleep cycle. The first stage, that is stage 1, is when you started to fall asleep from your awake state. Next, second and third stage, the movement of your body stops and it's difficult for you to get awake with the external stimulus. Stage 4 is dedicated to deepest sleep and all the reparative and restorative activity of your body like growth, nurturing, repair of wear and tear happens in this deep phase. Stage 5 is related with dreaming, that is REM is related with dreaming. Overall, it takes 90 to 110 minutes for one's completion of one cycle. It is said that your stage 3 and 4 should be about 6 hours of your sleep and REM should be about 1 hour of your sleep. That is called to be a good sleep. Now, why is sleep so important to all of us? I will give an example of phone. When you use your phone throughout the day, some of the time it gets hanged, and for reboot, you have to reboot it to restart it again, its normal function. Similarly, when your body is working throughout the day, your sleep is one of the ways of rebooting your system and restoring your health and other functions of the body. So, for the restoration of health, physical, mental and immunological system, sleep is of utmost importance. How does sleep contribute to all these things? By energy conservation, by restoring your tissue and growth. You must be surprised, but the height of a person increases while the person is in sleep or in deep sleep. Third is thermoregulation, temperature regulation system, and then the neural damage repair. When your brain is functioning throughout the day, there is some wear and tear happening in your neurons, so that gets repaired during deep sleep. Then your memory and learning, whatever you have learned throughout the day, during the sleep time, the consolidation of those memory happens and it turns into long-term memory. Your immune system wear and tear is also repaired during your deep sleep, mostly in the stage 4 as I have already mentioned. According to studies, the normal requirement of sleep for an adult is 7 to 9 hours, for kids is 9 to 10 hours a day, in which 6 hours should be in stage 3 and 4, 1 hour should be in REM. That is supposed to be a quality sleep. Now, what are the factors that can affect sleep? As you know, with increasing age, your sleep, the quality of sleep reduce. When you are sick, when you're having pain in your body, you don't feel like sleeping, or your sleep is not so deep. With noise, with external noise, with poor ventilation, with light around you, with no uncomfortable room temperature, you might have difficulty in sleeping. You will not get awake because of that, but your deep sleep will not be there. Then when your bed is not comfortable, you will have difficulty in sleeping properly. Your lifestyle has great impact on your sleep overall. If you do not have a fixed time of getting up or going to sleep, if you do not follow exercise modules, if you do not have proper dietary activities, if you are engaged in stressful activities throughout the day and you're not doing anything to relax yourself, that all can hamper the quality of sleep. Emotional stress is another factor. Alcohol consumption, taking stimulant as caffeine will also reduce the quality of your sleep. Smoking is not at all supposed to be good for sleep. Your diet, if you are taking good diet, balanced diet, it will improve the quality of sleep. On the other hand, if you are eating fatty meals, sugary meals, these all will reduce the quality of your sleep. Another thing is motivation. If you are engaged with some activities like engrossing activities, you are studying something, you are watching some television, all these things can affect the quality of your sleep. Also, if you are on some medications like beta blocker, topiramide, all these things also affect the sleep quality and duration. If you are liking information we are giving through our videos, please encourage us by hitting like button. Share it with more and more people so that they will get benefited out of it. If you have any question related to your health, feel free to put it on the comment box. We will answer it as soon as possible. And also, do not forget to subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications of our upcoming videos. What is sleep deprivation? When your quality of sleep is poor or the quantity is reduced, that is called sleep deprivation. What are side effects? It may lead to some chronic illnesses like blood pressure, diabetes, heart attack, obesity, depression, and other mental conditions, stroke. According to the recent researches, they have found that people who have sleep less than 5 hours are usually have high incidences of stroke. Almost 300% increment in the incidence of stroke, we can say. Similar are the research result for diabetes as well as hypertension. With poor quality of sleep, your cognition also reduces. Like your attention capacity is reduced, your reaction time to a stimulus is reduced, your working memory is poor. That means you will have loss of memory and forgetfulness. Along with that, you will have poor abstract thinking and poor innovative ideas. Your performance at work as well as at study might decrease, and most importantly, your functioning of immune system reduces. For this, I have my personal experience to share with you all. During the days of my residencies, in initial 6 to 8 months were very hectic. We used to have huge workload. We used to work for 36 to 40 hours in single stretch, and we were not allowed to move out of the campus. We have not seen daylight at that point of time. For me, I never used to fall sick when I was a kid, till my college days. I used to fall sick for like once or twice in 3 or 4 years. But in those 6 to 8 months of my residency, I fell sick for almost 5 to 6 times. That was very astonishing for me. It was surprising. It was abnormal. So I started some research. Why am I falling sick so frequently? And I realized that my hectic and erratic lifestyle was responsible for me getting sick. That point of time, I did some research that how sleep is correlated with the immune system. And here are the results. I'll share it with you in the pieces of the research that I had. The first one is, studies reported that sleep deprivation reduced the lymphocytic production and the NK cell activity, which was responsible for repairing of the immune system or the functioning of the immune system to kill the organisms which are entering into our body. And they're very crucial. Another thing that happened with lack of sleep is increase in interleukin, that is 1 and 2. These are inflammatory cytokines which are directly related to appearances of diabetes, blood pressure, stroke, and other chronic illnesses in our body. These all are related with erratic inflammatory response of the body. The second study which showed that immune memory consolidation happens during sleep. As I have already told you that memory consolidation, whatever we have learned during the daytime, get consolidated at night and turns into long-term memory. Similarly, your immune system also try and understand and make a memory of how to fight a particular infection. This consolidation happens during sleep as per the studies. Another study mentioned that the effectiveness of vaccines is better among people who have good sleep. Good sleep meaning 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Also, they have seen that the frequency of allergic attacks in people have reduced after they started following good sleep practices. I have already, as I have mentioned in my previous videos, that allergy is related to hyperfunctioning, abnormal hyperfunctioning of our own immune system. So, with all these four researches we have seen just now, it's clear that sleep has some impact on immune system, mostly positive response, and hence poor sleep can deteriorate the immune system of our body. Now let's see what are poor indicators of sleep. You're having hard time falling asleep. That's your sleep induction time is too long. You have frequent sleep disturbances and you have daytime sleepiness. You're not feeling fresh once you are getting up. If you have any one of these things, it's indicate that you have poor sleep. Now let's move to sleep hygiene and 20 steps towards quality sleep. How can we do that? The first thing is you have to fix a schedule for daily sleep wake. You have to get up at some same time, you have to go to sleep for the same time. That will program your brain to go to sleep at this particular moment of time. Second is you have to maintain a routine before going to sleep. That is, for example, before going to sleep, you have switched off your laptops, mobile phones and everything. Then you go and you take a hot water bath or steam. You come back, you turn to change to pajamas, go to bed, read something, and then you go to sleep. So these kind of things will program your mind that now you are preparing yourself to go to sleep. This will help you to fall asleep at time. Third is avoid light if possible. Close the curtains and everything, switch off the lights. And if that is not helping, if that's not possible, suppose you are living in a hostel or sharing room with someone, you can put iPads and avoid light. The next thing is avoid noise. You can request your family members, your roommates and others not to make loud noises, or you can just close windows and doors. If not possible, use earplugs and go to sleep, because light and noise both can affect the quality of your sleep, as we have already seen. The next thing is you choose comfortable bed and bed. If your bed is not comfortable, you will not go to deep sleep. Your sleep will get disturbed intermittently, which is not good. Hence, change to or switch to comfortable beds. You should prefer doing light activities before going to bed, like reading some storybooks, listening to music, relaxing music, or engaging yourself with some light activities like conversation with your family, which doesn't involve brain activation. Next, progressive muscle relaxation and self-hypnosis have helped people to gain control over their mind and induce sleep at a faster rate and better quality of sleep. Next is no screens 1 hour before bed. Researchers have told us that the blue light which is there in your mobile phones, laptops, TVs and cameras induce awakened state of your body, of your mind. On the other hand, red light, yellow light calms you down. So if you want to have a proper sleep, you should remove your or switch off your phones, laptops and other things. You shouldn't see it before and going to bed. Next is turn off the notifications of phone, because they also can disturb you while sleeping. No TV or exercise 2 to 3 hours before going to bed, because if you do exercise, it will increase the endorphins, a chemical which is brain stimulating. Also, TV has this blue light that I've already mentioned. Apart from that, TV has some content which is actually engaging. So avoid doing that 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. Do not get your brain involved in some stimulating actions like interesting conversations, scientific researches and paper and journal reading, or playing a video game, or things like that. Apart from that, use your bed only for sleeping. If you will eat, if you will watch movies while on bed, your brain will not get the signals that bed is meant to sleep. On the other hand, if you will use bed only for sleeping, the moment you are on the bed, you are spreading your bed sheets, you are taking your blanket, it's an indication to your brain that you are now prepared yourself for sleeping. That will help you to fall asleep. So over and all, everything is related to programming your brain. Next is avoid eating heavy fatty meals before going to bed, because such kind of meals will have difficulty, your digestive system will have difficulty in digestion, as well as this will cause acid reflux, which is not good for a deep sleep. Next, no caffeine within 6 hours of sleep. Caffeine has a half-life of almost 5 hours. That means it will take 5 hours to reduce the caffeine content in your body to 50%. That means even after 10 hours of caffeine intake, you will have at least 25% of caffeine in your system, which is sufficient enough to keep you awake. Hence, try not consuming it within 6 hours of sleep. Avoid alcohol. Alcohol might help you to fall asleep quickly, but the quality of sleep will not be good because of the chemicals released in your brain, as well as diuretic action of alcohol, which will stimulate you to go and use washroom frequently during your sleep. Hence, disturb sleep, hence poor quality of sleep. So avoid alcohol. Avoid smoking because smoking has nicotine, which is brain stimulant, which shouldn't be used if you want to sleep well. Then there are few people who have this habit of sleeping for around 1 to 2 hours in the daytime. It shouldn't be there. If you want to sleep, you should limit your daytime nap to less than 30 minutes. Now, why is it so? Because in 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, you are in stage 1 and 2 of your sleep, in which it is easier for you to get back to your senses. Once you reach to 60 to 90 minutes of your sleep duration, you are in stage 3 and 4, which is related with deep sleep, and it is very difficult for you to awake from that state. You will feel groggy. So along with that, your sleep depth will reduce. So you will try limit your nap to less than 30 minutes. The next is daily exercise in the daytime for around 20 to 30 minutes. That will help you to increase your sleep depth and will improve your quality of sleep as well. Good daytime sunlight exposure is equally important, as I have already mentioned that circadian rhythm responds to day and night, that is light and dark. So if you expose yourself to light in the daytime, the brain will understand the difference between light and dark and will accept the dark with a brain calming activity or duration. So it will be easy for you to induce sleep at night time. The last but not the least is medication. You have certain medication which will help you to induce good sleep, to improve the quality of your sleep for those who are suffering from insomnia and other disease, health related disease. But medicines should not be used unless you have used or followed all these 19 formulas properly. So till now we have understood what is sleep, why is it so important to us, what will happen if we are sleep deprived, and how can we improve the quality of sleep. Now, there's one book which I want to mention, written by Matthew Walker. The book is on Why We Sleep, New Science of Sleep and Dream. It's a very, very effective book. I read it a couple of years back, but I still find it very intriguing. So you must read it if you want to. In the coming video, we are going to see what is healthy gut, how is it related to good immunity, how can we improve the health of our gut overall. So till then, stay safe, stay happy, and enjoy good sleep.